Oh no, I'm ready. I'm ready to get into it as well. This is gonna be good. We got a chance to see these guys play before. Let's see what they've learned. Let's see some old teammates form, come back together with their old duos and see what they can do here. Now, 1v1 situation. Avexys taking a lot of damage. You got to quickly get back. This fight's gonna be reset, but he knows Demise is weak and he is in a vulnerable position that he cannot get out of. So the Rise boys are gonna take round number 1. And as I was saying earlier, Frank, you know, Avexys and INZEM, hey, they're on 2 different teams now. INZEM is actually teaming with TJ. They'll be playing together on Hive. Demise is on a team called Old Man, named Old Man, and they don't grow facial hair. And on the flip end, Avexys is still with Rise Nation. So, different squads, but as we see, it's one duo who has not lost their touch and probably kind of missing each other too as well.
Yeah, you like that too. You kind of, you know, we're getting the band back together kind of vibes out of these duos here tonight. But yeah, Avexys and INZEM missing no beat, no step, just getting right back into it. Kind of Avexys showing off a little bit in the first round. INZEM taking his turn in the second. Will round number 3 be a repeat? We'll have to see if Demise and TJ can shake off the rust a little bit here in Astro battles. But INZEM says, I'm just going to run through everybody. And he said, movement doesn't matter. I am that good.
Wow, that was a big play by INZEM. Now I don't know if he was running through. Now he killed them both, but I think he was defending against a push that came over from Demise and TJ. He defended against that push very well. He didn't even need no help whatsoever from Avexys, but TJ knows that this is a difficult fight because at any given moment, INZEM can push his left or his right or disengage the fight entirely and take the battle over, as he was able to pick up a kill there on Demise and quickly turn around and take out TJ. He set the pace.
Man, that is some dominance, I think. You know, we saw that streak of 4 or 5 rounds in that first semifinal, but none of the rounds looked like that. It was always a scrap. It was always a fight, but Avexys and INZEM coming out looking very strong. But there's Demise, gonna pick up a kill on Avexys here, force INZEM into the 2v1. He's gonna slide in, get a nice little shot onto Demise, but it is going to be the down coming through. 2 shotguns versus 1. 2 tends to win. So that is the first round on the board for TJ and Demise.
Man, the rounds 3 and 4, INZEM won with double kills. And you see it there from Demise's POV, how hard it was just to take him out when he was the last guy. He almost went down himself, but in the end, Demise and TJ clutch it up. Now, INZEM, knowing that, does he want to leave the fight against TJ or do we want to push him? And we see TJ make the first move this round, and INZEM's going to make him pay with a quick back A. Avexys gets the down, cleans up the kill, and now this is a textbook 2v1. Great effort there by Demise, but not enough, not enough.
Yeah, that's kind of, that feels like what map number 1 has been, right? TJ and Demise have been, you know, trying, but it's just not enough, right? Avexys and INZEM have just answered, you know, every single look, every shot they've thrown at them, and they've handled it, you know, almost immaculately, only dropping 1 round so far. So Avexys and INZEM looking real clean here in map number 1. See this fight occurring on the pillar. Avexys gonna down Demise. TJ gonna force back to help, but it's just gonna be the old bait and switch coming out of Avexys and INZEM. Now 6 rounds to 1. They're making tonight quick, Blaze.
Yeah, when INZEM is playing like he was playing initially to kick this one off, a lot of focus is on him at that point. So Demise and TJ say, hey, man, oh man, you got to work Avexys, but Avexys will turn up on his own, and he did a good job working his right hand advantage that last round. We'll see if he can do it again, but INZEM leaves this fight, and we know he was one of the fastest players we've ever seen play Gears of War. And TJ, he matches his speed and his pace, but still he cannot keep up with him, as he was quickly able to leave his fight, get the wrap shot on Demise, and have Avexys cover him. So great job here by these guys. TJ, he wants to play on man, but INZEM keeps forcing him to play into his hand.
Yeah, and what is I think interesting to me about that play is that the death is worth the damage with INZEM there. He might have ran through 2, and it cost him his life. Like, he kind of overextended by all definitions, but the damage he did was worth the death, and it makes it easy for Avexys to just stroll up and clean up the kill. And while we were making that point, Avexys and INZEM already took another round, so they are looking to close out a map 1 in a hurry.
Yes, they are. Avexys has Demise in the trenches, but INZEM already won this fight now. That was a great play for Demise. He saw his teammate die, and he didn't think for a second. Just when Ultra Instinct made a play, now he's fighting for his life. But INZEM, he controls the fights at these pillars. This is his map. Lock it in for the Rise boys.
He might have went
one
more. It's 9-1. It's 9-1. It's 9-1. And he might have went Ultra Instinct. INZEM hits him with a time skip. Bada bing. It's over and done with. So
you know, like when Goku went Ultra Instinct for the first time, it didn't work out too well. Okay.
No,
Jiren
he got tired.
He
got mad tired. Needed a sensu beam
Took him
for sure.
A few reps.
All right. Well, here's Demise coming up with it.
Even you don't get Ultra Instinct right on your first try, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing. Reps. That's the key. Consistency.
And it works out in that round. Finally getting another one on the board. Demise doing a lot of work in that round. So 9-2. Trying to make it at least respectable on their end. Avexys and INZEM letting off the gas just enough so that TJ and Demise can walk away with some dignity here in map number 1. And there's TJ. Gonna get a nice kill on INZEM. Gonna slow him down a little bit, and is able to get the down on Avexys as well. So there we go. TJ and Demise with some signs of life, doing pretty good, but still just one round needed for Avexys and INZEM to close this one out.
Yeah, this one is on TJ for Demise and him. But you know, in 2v2 you can't really point blame, right? But INZEM is doing so much where TJ has to check him, and you have to force that respect. All right, you're gonna have to push him, work that right hand, out-rotate him, leave the fight a few times, try to flank Avexys, but we've seen him try to do it once, and INZEM was ready with that back eight. Now, Demise died early, and TJ trying to clutch. It was a beautiful L trigger there. Looked like he was gonna get it, but in the end, the Rise boys, a smooth 10-3 victory here in map number 1.
Yeah, no sweat off their back for sure, making it look real easy in map number 1. And man, what can you even say? Like, I know you mentioned like INZEM early on obviously stepped it up, and
play that one chunk range, step out of it, not get hit with the full spread, and come in with a quick one-hitter quitter. So you gotta know these players all have great movement speed and make good plays like that, and they're quick enough to pull them off. They just have to play with their chest up, Frank.
Yep. Yeah, it's really what it comes down to. And if you're gonna, you know what, and at the end of the day, and this is something that I respect the hell out of Gears players, is you're not afraid to lose either. Like, you step up with your chest out, but if you lose, you take it and you walk away with it, right? So if INZEM and Avexys are just playing better today, they might just be playing better today. But I know that TJ and Demise are not a duo to go down without a fight. So there's Demise gonna be getting the down and the cleanup on Avexys, and TJFORCE doing the same thing on the other side to INZEM. So there we go, coming out with a little bit more life, and you love to see it.
Frank, I tell you, see, like this, I've never seen a team full of 4 passive players get top 8 in my whole life.
True.
It's just nothing. Something
it doesn't
I have not seen.
Doesn't
exist. One thing about Gears of War is that you have to fight. Somebody has to fight first. And teams and, you know, players with good eyes, they know how to find those players who want to go out there and get jiggy with it, man. Get out there, put out some damage, you know, wall bounce around, get into some shotgun fights and have fun. You surround those guys with some vets, some great lancers, some good marksmen and strategists, you start playing around them. Now, you get 2 of those players and you start playing 2v2, you know? Next thing you know, you're hitting Astro battles. It's a problem, because once they start putting out damage, as I always say, damage is currency on Astro battles, they're just getting closer to that check. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, maybe it's just INZEM and Avexys that are on their game, on point, playing a little bit better today as INZEM pops TJ. Demise tries to come through, but walking right into the shotgun. Business as usual for INZEM and Avexys on that one. Ooh, that back A He changed covers and he looked over his shoulder and cracked him before he can even up there around the box and make a move. INZEM is 2 to 3 steps ahead in his 1v1 fights than most players. You play at his pace, so you better hit your shots when you get your opportunity, okay? You may be able to take one, but you might not take two.
Right. 2 is just, if you walk away from INZEM or Avexys taking 2 shots, you got lucky. You count your lucky stars that day as the first Batista bomb of this season of Astro Battles comes through.
4-1 on the board. The Rise boys are back. You know, I don't know. I might be kind of heartbroken. I might never see this duo in 4v4, or I won't be seeing them this season at least. They are a force to be reckoned with, but I will say one thing. 4v4 is a different ball game, okay? You know, it's nice to have a team full of slayers that can shoot, but 4v4, man, teamwork reigns supreme. INZEM making them misclick there on the other side of the box, getting free kills with his movement alone. He's gonna check up. He even takes a free shot, Frank.
Yeah, he's trying
to bait him out of cover.
He's playing chicken with a shotgun in Gears 5. Just saying, yeah, I'm right here. What are you gonna do? The confidence is one thing. Demise says, though, I'm gonna hang out right here. I'm gonna let you posture up towards me, and I'm gonna take you out. So good stuff out of TJ and Demise, keeping this one a little bit closer for rounds to 2 in map number 2 here in the second semifinal.
Yeah, good job to Demise. In those situations, when you see a player doing all that bouncing, you don't get flustered. You just hit your shots, play around the cover, take your opportunities. He did just that. Demise has been one of the players over these last few seasons that I've loved watching his growth here as he's evolved into the player in which he is today. And wait to see what successes he's going to have in the league with his team. Oh man, Demise, Tidy, Shock, Detox. But TJ, INZEM gets him once again. And out of the last 2 maps, when it has came down to a 1v1 between these 2 players, I think INZEM got a score count of like 7-2, 8-2, something around there.
Yeah, INZEM is just hitting every shot that he needs to. You know, outside of, I think, that previous round where he tried to make a play, sure, you know, he was going for it, but the consistency and the precision with which he is playing tonight might be unmatched as far as Astro Battles is concerned. He's playing some of the cleanest Gears 5 2v2 I think I've ever seen. Of course, Avexys going to step up in that round and do a lot of the work, but 6 rounds to 2, and while it was a little bit more back and forth early on, it sure looks like the Rise boys are about to repeat what they did map number 1.
Yeah, that's what it was looking like, the way the score line is set up. Demise and TJ are going to have to step it up here, make some plays. Now, seeing the same initial out of both teams this round. Each 1v1 is going to make it to their respective spot at the exact same time. Nice shot there by Avexys, but he took 2 good ones. And now it's up to INZEM to make a play. TJ back rolls. He back rolls and he connects with 2 great shots. They close out that round. And now it's only a 3-round deficit here for Demise and TJ. They are still in a good spot to make this comeback. We've seen it before. We've seen teams win 4, 5, 6 rounds before in these type of situations. It just comes down to them snagging momentum away from their opponent.
Yeah, TJ and Demise map number 1, like the way they're playing here, map number 2, the rounds might look similar. Yeah, it's impressive what Avexys and INZEM.
He does that same move every time. Like INZEM, he checks up to the right. He looks right, tries to help his teammate putting damage on Demise, comes to the box, hits a back A, comes off the cover, takes cover on the open side, and quickly shoots at the same time of his opponent because he knows he already has damage in, so he's going to win that battle every time.
Yeah, it's like a pickup basketball thing, right? Like, you know, you keep doing what's working until it stops working, and INZEM is just living and dying by that with that play, and it's been working, so why stop doing it at this point? Of course, TJ and Demise able to get 1 round back, but
one reason why I enjoy the slower pace Gears is because we are able to see those type of movements more than we did in like a faster Gears 4 style. You know, I've casted most of it. You know, the movement which Gears of War players do is so unique and so special and so important in some of these big engagements, but it's hard to break it down sometimes for the fans because of the pace in which they were moving. But now it's simple. It's just putting in good shots, okay? And we see a few creative moves like INZEM there on that one location. You could tell that He's had a lot of reps fighting people there in the mid map. So he, you know, it's pretty much muscle memory for him at this point, but it's nice to be able to show the audience that.
Yeah, I think it allows the audience not only to process it a little bit better and see some of those smaller movements, but from the player side, it puts so much more emphasis on those movements. It's like you're committing to a move here, and if you pick the wrong one, if you made the wrong one, if you didn't execute correctly, you're going to be punished for it. So not only is it beneficial to the players, beneficial to the audience as well, as, you know, INZEM tries to make a play, but Demise in the better position lined it up and is able to execute on it. So now we see, you know, what was looking like Avexys and INZEM about to run away with map number 2. We're now within 1 round. TJ and Demise can tie it up here.
Just that quickly. They're back in this one, Frank, winning 3 rounds in a row. Let's see if they can do it again. TJ working that right hand. INZEM missing a few shots, but he hit a good one there. With a beautiful back aim, but it doesn't get the kill on Avexys. I think some of it may have even hit his teammate on the ground, but great effort there by TJ. Avexys, he just hit the last blow.
Yeah. You know, at the very least, I think if Avexys and INZEM clutch this one out, TJ and Demise can walk away with their heads held high. Map number 1 felt like they kind of got woken up with a bucket full of ice water, but map number 2 here looking a little bit more even as INZEM fighting on this mid box, taking some shots, but he's pretty comfy. Demise, though, going to clean it up, and Avexys going down as well. So we are still within 1 here, not out of reach for TJ and Demise just yet.
No, not out of reach for them just yet here, Frank. They're in this game. It's anyone's game at this point. Now, TJ and Demise, they just have to keep doing what's working. TJ has a lot more confidence off his right hand here. He's forcing INZEM to have to fight him. We see INZEM starting these fights out a little bit wider right there, cutting back in, but he gets a shot over there on Demise, and when he does that, TJ better get a shot on Avexys as well. But Avexys knows that he cannot take cover on that pillar, reduce the amount of damage he's going to take, but TJ got some good shots. He just needs to look over that shoulder, play with his opponent, force INZEM to have to fight him, but TJ walks up, chunks him, and lands a beautiful shot on Avexys' back. Well-timed push between TJ and Demise right there.
Yeah, just beautiful patience too, right? And then for TJ to make that play with such confidence. It's great stuff out of him, and we're tied at 8 rounds now, Blaze, going into this second map. We might see our first map number 3 here tonight, but it's all on TJ and Demise clutching this one out, closing out the hard work they've put in here in this map. Little bit of a I don't even know what you would call it on the mid box there, and it's going to be TJ and Demise coming up yet again now, taking the lead.
Yeah, you saw a quick down came through, and then we saw the revive train, but TJ and Demise had pressure from both sides. Now they have full pressure here on Rise. Let's see if they can send us to a map 3. This is a big round, or are we going to get another round 19 in our second semifinal? TJ makes a big play, but Avexys gets it down, steps into the fight, and with a red shot, he sends us to another round 19.
That is absolutely disgusting and delicious all at the same time. That play out of Avexys should not have happened, but he looked like he just straight up willed it to happen. So here we have another round 19 match point. Will we see a map number 3, or will Avexys and INZEM be moving on to the grand finals?
Oh, Avexys got some great damage off the start. But in the end, TJ and Demise being there for each other, switching targets. They're going to end up closing this one out. We're going to a map 3 here, folks. Look, it almost looked like Avexys and INZEM was going to close it out because we were watching Avexys POV there. Got some great initial damage. So much initial damage where...
This semifinal number 2 is definitely anyone's match.
All right, here we go. Kicking this one off with INZEM versus TJ. INZEM got a beautiful shot there. And that's another great spread. He's going to keep the pressure on TJ, but Demise is there watching over him. Now, fight's going to be reset here. And from both ends as well. So, nice little engagement to start. Avexys and INZEM is going to try to close the gap here, and with INZEM getting off here to the side, he's going to funnel these players to Avexys. But look at the 2v1s. You see Demise and TJ trying to isolate one player, sticking close together, continuing to rotate the map until they can find their opportunity. Avexys gets it down. TJ makes them pay. 1v1 again between INZEM and TJ. Let's see who wins it.
INZEM trying to push up here. Of course, that shock grenade is taken. TJ's got it in his back pocket if he needs it. Going to use that immediately. Tries to isolate a path here against INZEM. And INZEM being patient, just waiting for an angle, seeing if he spots an opening.
He's leading that shot. Great lead there. Not shooting for where his opponent is, but where he's going to be, because these two players play at a very fast pace. So they got to play a little bit in the future, especially to account for ping times as well, for them to be successful, and they know what they're doing. This time around, INZEM gets another one, and we're going to see our first Batista bomb of the night. Yeah.
Love to see it, and great patience out of INZEM there. A great display of, you know, using that L trigger, like anticipating your opponent, reading your opponent, and with how much these players have all played against each other. Kind of not a surprise to see that either. But here we go, the elevated layout. It is a rush to the middle. It is all about who hits their first shot, and it is INZEM taking down TJ. Avexys going to clean up Demise, and that round is going to be over as quick as it started.
All right, now, as you saw that, you gotta be quick on that layout, folks. If you're not ready to fight when you get there, you and your teammate will pay for it. Now, this is what we were talking about when it comes down to the 1v1s on each side here. You really can't play up in a 2v1 to start, because it can easily get flanked as your teammate backs up. But this is another 1v1. This time around, Demise can't get away, and INZEM's gonna clutch it up.
Yeah,
getting both kills once again.
That was another time that damages currency. You know, even though Avexys got taken out, I believe it was Demise was sitting at like 17%. So INZEM gets to walk over, casually stroll up, hit a shot, and secure the round. So, you know, while Avexys looks like he got taken out there, if you're paying attention, you know, to those damage percentages, he did a lot of work, and that allowed INZEM to easily clean up that kill.
Oh, they're trying to rotate together, but in the end, Demise just applied too much pressure. Put the damage out, got the initial down, and TJ was able to get into position and clean it up, and that was a great round for them. The Rise boys, you know, they were sticking to each other's hip, but it just didn't work out for them there in the end. Now, INZEM got a headshot to kick off the last time we saw this layout in round 2. See if he can do it again.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick, man. That layout, honestly, if any of us blink during that, we might miss everything that happens. But what did happen is that Avexys and INZEM made quick work of Demise and TJ on that layout yet again. If I'm TJ and Demise, I might say, all right, don't worry about that layout. Let's focus on winning the other two, and we'll come out on top.
Great effort for Demise on his left hand, but with the miss roll, sorry, that was Avexys off his left hand. He misrolls there, but manages to recover. And now he's applying pressure here to TJ. INZEM's on the flank. They got him right where they want him. TJ has to push one of these fights, but he's going to take damage both directions. And from afar, they managed to down him out, and they're going to let him know about it.
And I like this INZEM and Avexys kind of unleashed on map number 3, just by the amount of the Batista bomb to round ratios in map number 3 gives me the feeling that they might feel a little bit slighted by map number 2.
I think we're at 50% now too, so
yes.
Get ready for it here. At least see it 2 more times before this map is over with. Now, let's see how close these players are going to stick to their teammates. Starting off as 2 separate 1v1s. If Avexys moves up, INZEM's going to stay close to him. Demise, he's working his right-hand advantage. They push these 2 Rise players to the corner. TJ gets there with him, but Avexys from afar gets the first down and around. The revive comes through. The chunk is there. But in the end, composure from TJ is going to lock it in. He says, don't play with me. All right, it ain't over yet. Don't forget, we came back map number 2.
Yeah, Avexys and INZEM. I mean, off to a strong start again, but yeah, map number 2 started the same way. TJ and Demise have fought back before, so definitely a don't count your chickens before they hatch type scenario here. Now here is INZEM and Avexys home base. We'll see if they can take this one off to a slower start. Gives us a little bit of time to process what happens, but not that much, as the double down comes through 6 rounds to 2 now for the Rise boys.
Man, INZEM soaked up so much damage there as he was focusing fire of 2 of the players, and I think Avexys was getting free shots on his guy. Demise and TJ are not taking that cover. They know that he's going to get there first. They know that if they take cover, they may get rap shotted by him. But, you know, we'll see how they play it out when we get back to it once again, because that looks like that layout may always go towards the Rise boys. Now, this time around, TJ and Demise, they both win their 1v1s. Kudos to them. Keeping it close. It was 6-3 last time, Frank, when we were mentioning a comeback from them. Letting the fans know that anything is possible at this moment in the match.
I think if you're INZEM and Avexys, you just got to keep it clean. You know, stick to your guns a little bit and just play your game, because they've been doing well. But this layout, TJ seems to be picking them apart just a little bit. But Avexys, makes a play on that one.
Man, he head down, got his first shot, and he had the foresight to know exactly where his opponent was gonna be. If it wasn't foresight, it definitely got to be those Astro 840s that he got on his head, because it was a quick 180, knew exactly where his guy was, and got the chunk.
Yeah, it's a great play. Okay, on this round, Demise draws first blood, but INZEM with the trade comes through. TJ gonna clean him up though. So for the first time in map number 3, TJ and Demise were able to take that layout. So still signs of life. Again, a deceiving lead for Avexys and INZEM, because you're right, Blaze. TJ and Demise did the exact same thing in map number 2, played possum just a bit, and then right when INZEM and Avexys thought it was over and they were in the grand finals, they pounced and closed the deal. So we'll have to see how this one plays out yet again.
TJ and Demise both pressed up. Last time they were here, they won this layout. TJ taunting his opponents, clapping it up for him one time. Let them know, like, hey, you guys aren't going to move. Avexys is going to do a boogie there on the right side map. Now, who makes the first move in this scenario? Chat, what do you guys think? Who's gonna press first? Demise, he's there on the right-hand side, and it's got to be the team that is trying to force the comeback. But we see them. They're going to take 60% of this map away from the Rise boys. So at this point, it's only one final push left here. But who's going to make it now? You can't, if you're right, Demise and TJ, you can't cut up mid-map. You could probably fake it, but you're going to take some damage from your guy that you're leaving to try to flank somebody else. But that's a beautiful back A. And of course, they have to play off of it. Avexys springs into action because he knows his teammate needs him after the brick TJ delivered. And with him saving INZEM life, he puts him in a 1v1 against Demise, where Demise is playing Ring Around the Rosie. And this time around, the lullaby is not going to be in his favor.
Nah, just an insane play out of INZEM too. Just super composed. The damage he took to make that play, I mean, you got to have ice in your veins to come up with that one, because we've all been in situations in Gears like that before, and I can tell you right now with confidence that I cannot do what INZEM just did, being that low on health and hitting those perfect shots. So shout out to INZEM. That's definitely an earned round for the Rise boys.
All right, so now last time we was here, it was INZEM and Avexys. They both played up. They're very aggressive. Avexys, I believe he did clutch this one up with a double kill. It's a lot of damage on INZEM. You could tell that Demise and TJ are communicating this one based off how they're rotating around them. But Demise wins this 1v1. INZEM trying to play off the damage in which Avexys put out, but he can't do it in time. That's another round for Demise and TJ. Just 3 away from tying this one up. But with a great start in the early portion of this map, even if they trade out layouts back and forth, at this point, the Rise boys is in a good position. They've always won this layout, Frank. Demise and TJ, they have to beat them here. They can't be scared going up. And that's a great shot for Demise, and that's a beautiful back A, but he didn't clean up the kill. The reset is there, and INZEM's in the mix. But Demise with a double down rap shot.
Demise doing him absolutely dirty on that layout, saying, all right, well, if we have to win this layout at least once, let me do it just like this, make a statement while I'm doing it. Great shots by Demise, the double wrap, double down.
That was sick.
Yeah, the last time you could get a double down like that was at KFC, but Demise says, I'm bringing it back. It's back on the menu, boys.
Well, I tell you one thing that's back on the menu. That's a Rise win. Okay, that's a Rise W as they lock in round number 15. At this point, they're sitting pretty, and they've earned this position here based off of how they've played consistently over these last 3 maps. If Demise and TJ want to win, they gotta repay them back a few favors here, and they gotta do it in these last 4 rounds, Frank.
Yep, they need something here, but INZEM and Avexys look like they are poised to close this one out, move on to the grand finals, and face Reptile and Gary's there. But TJ and Demise still have some fight left in them. Gonna play this one patient, and I can't blame them at all. What's interesting to me is that Avexys and INZEM have tried to essentially force a 2v1 in this layout, almost split the map and then flip it. But choosing to play it much more patient this time. Reminded me a little bit of that clutch INZEM round.
If you want to flip it and rotate it, Avexys and INZEM can group up right now and possibly push TJ. Now, as they're pushing TJ, he's probably gonna, if he back rolls or backs up, that's when they can kind of catch Demise out if he makes a bad rotation. You're trying to force the player in which you're leaving solo to take an unorthodox route, because if he tries to cut through the middle and your teammate isn't putting out that damage, they can quickly turn on you and find themselves an initial kill. In this current position here, Demise and TJ are like, hey, bro, you need 1 round to win. So come get it. You want it? Come get it. On the flip end, INZEM and Avexys is like, bro, we'll win it when we go to the elevator layout.
Right.
All right? Yeah, you won it the last time, but you better push us now. Because when you go to the other ones, you're not going to have as good as a chance as you do in this moment. So I do think TJ and Demise, they got to try to push Avexys and INZEM, but they want to push it to a different layout.
Yeah, and I can't blame them, really, right? Like, statistically, I think they're about even on this one. Yeah, they're about even on this layout. 10 seconds left in this round, and INZEM and Avexys are sitting, you're like, oh, if they don't push us, if they don't give us this one, we're just going to take the next one, which is, of course, that elevated layout.
Pushing in the last final moments, INZEM goes down, but not enough time on the clock for anybody to do anything about it. That's a good breather for TJ and Demise. If you need to take a technical timeout, wipe the sweat off your hands, get you some gamer grip, crack a Red Bull, whatever you need to do, hydrate. Okay, that's the most important thing. Hydrate. But this is where they got to win it again, and the Avexys and INZEM know it. And this is a great initial shot here by Avexys. He gets the first down, and INZEM cleans them up. And they knew what was happening. Yeah. They knew.
Everybody knew.
TJ had to see him on the top of the hill if they wanted to fight the Kings.
That's
right. See them in the grand finals against Gary's and Reptile.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see that matchup as well. But, I mean, so far, shout-outs to all these teams because they have been putting on an absolute show tonight, and I have been loving it. But, yeah, Avexys and INZEM walking into that layout, they knew the deal.